Hello and welcome to another episode of the PPV Review, the show where we look back at the good and bad years at wrestling, and we're currently looking back at the year 2012. I'm your host, the Lunatic Ginge, as per usual, and today we're looking at Hell in a Cell or Hell in the Cell, because no one really knows which one it is, 2012. And yeah, I'm excited. Been a good week for wrestling here. Probably one of the better Raws in recent memory. It's just come up. If you try and time stamp it, if you're watching this at a later date, but yeah, it's a really good Raw. So people are excited in wrestling now. But anyway, this is 2012, so we're not going to get that good, are we? So we get a promo package as we do at the start of every show, and it shows the two main matches that are going on tonight: Big Show versus Sheamus, CM Punk versus Ryback. And I was shocked because of the opponents that the champions are getting, due to what we had last week. It's a bit different, isn't it? But I'll get into that a bit later. We're in Atlanta, Georgia, which incidentally is the same place as this Monday's Raw took place. Exciting stuff. And we get Michael Cole, JBL, and good old JR is on commentary. And I was like, yes, get in. But it's a kind of a weird team, Michael Cole, JBL, and JR. I don't think it's happened before. And you see they have their few problems during the show. Anyway, our first match of the night is between Alberto Del Rio and Randy Orton. And I was like, yes and no. Because you're like, oh no, Alberto Del Rio's here. We've seen these matches in previous weeks, and I've gone pretty crazy at them. But also, I'm happy because he's not facing Sheamus in this week, so that's definitely a plus. For Randy Orton, we've seen him face Ziggler last week, and now Del Rio. So it looks like they just don't have anything for him, so they're just chucking him with a guy, another main eventer. So he gets to feud with Alberto Del Rio in this one. And when JR starts talking again, it's just like, I missed you so much. I had to listen to Michael Cole all the while. Anyway, Orton starts off hot, beating up on Alberto Del Rio. Orton then gets distracted, and Del Rio gains control, and now we know when Del Rio gets control, it gets really, really boring. Alberto Del Rio then targets the arm, which he normally does because he's setting up for the cross-arm breaker. And yep, it is boring stuff. JR almost calls JBL Bradshaw in sort of a throwback thing. But I don't think JBL is very happy because he's definitely JBL. He's not Bradshaw. Who's Bradshaw? I don't know. Del Rio is still in control. Then he does an armbar on the ropes, which, to be fair to him, looked pretty cool, but obviously you can only keep it in for a 5 count, so it's pretty worthless. Orton come back, but it gets stopped because ADR, I'm going to call him ADR now because I don't want to call him Alberto Del Rio. ADR sounds a lot cooler. He does a cross-arm breaker, but Orton manages to reach the ropes. Apron DDT is countered by Del Rio. And he mocks Orton, does his pose and does the bit before the RKO. He tries to do an RKO, but it's reversed. Orton does get his DDT in. JBL exclaims, "He's got one arm, Maggle," which I found quite funny. He doesn't have one arm. RKO reversed into a backstabber. Another Carlito reference coming up. Ready? I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool. Carlito. I miss Carlito. I'm going to go out and say it. Anyway, the backstabber gets a 2 count. Power slam by Orton, and he gets a 2 count. Double stomp to Orton. That's a kick out. And then in my notes, you'll like this, I've just written ha 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 ha. Oh my god, I forgot this was in this match. This is one of the best botches, if I can remember. ADR, I call him ADR again, He looks to go off the top rope, and he's supposed to be hit by Orton in midair, it seems. Orton hasn't turned around yet. He's still facing the other way, and ADR jumps off the top rope and just lands next to him. Orton turns around and goes, "What the hell are you doing now? I was supposed to kick you in midair or something." And they're just like, "What do we do now?" And they just scramble for a bit, pushes him into the ropes and does like I can't remember now. Yeah, it was just so funny. Unbelievable, because he just jumps next to him and they just look at each other and go, What? Oh, that wasn't meant to happen. Anyway, moving on. Rodriguez interference leads to another cross arm breaker. Orton rolls him up. Long 2 count, but it's close. ADR goes for a step up enziguri, which he normally does, but it's countered into an RKO. It looked pretty nice. Orton wins. Okay match, to be fair, for an Alberto Del Rio match. It was okay. We move on to saying Michael Cole has said AJ has resigned. She's been having a bit of fun with Big Johnny, and I mean Cena, not Laurinaitis. Vicky is now in charge. We cut to future TNA Hall of Famer Josh Matthews, who interviews Vicky. Heyman interrupts, asks to cancel the main event between Punk and the Ryback. She obviously doesn't. And then we get to our next match, which is for the tag titles, Team Hell No versus Team Rhodes Scholars. Team Hell No come out, separate entrances. It's quite funny because they still just hate each other. And they control the early goings against Cody Rhodes and Damien Sandow. Team Rhodes Scholars target Kane's knee, which is good. Good ring psychology. Chop the big man down, as JR says. There's a hot tag to D-Bry. Yes and no kicks. He goes through the ropes at both Rhodes Scholars. Guess you can call them. Later on in the match, Team Rhodes Scholars are back in control. And it's not really a great match. Even though you've got Kane and Bryan in it, it's not really a great match. Bryan is worked over. But eventually you get a hot tag to Kane. Sidewalk slam. Top rope clothesline. Which every time it comes up I still love it. Daniel Bryan tags himself in. Flying headbutt. 1, 2. Kane pulls Daniel Bryan off of the cover. They argue. Crossroads is hit, but Kane breaks up the pin. Kane then gets really angry and gets his team DQ'd by just continuously beating up both of them, both teams' Rhodes Scholars. So yeah, they lose the match, but they keep the titles and they argue a lot. Josh Matthews then interviews The Miz, who says he's using his rematch clause against Kofi Kingston. We didn't even know he lost the title, so it must have happened on a Raw or SmackDown. But anyway, Kofi is the new the IC champion. And he's facing The Miz right now. And Kofi, to be fair to him, has done pretty well for himself, hasn't he? He's gone from tag champ last month where he lost it to Team Hell No. Now he's IC champ. Good on him. Good on him, lad. A lot of near misses with kicks and punches to start. And then Miz gets in control. Does his nice high running clothesline, which to be fair, this is a move from Miz that I actually like. Kofi, he comes back. Boom drop hits. Roll up, 2 count. Crossbody, 2 count. SOS. I didn't know that was a move that he did. I completely blocked the SOS out of my mind. Also gets the 2 count. Miz targets the leg of Kofi, and he actually takes off padding, which I thought is actually a good idea because not many people do that anymore. You don't really see that much. Like they actually take off the padding to inflict more damage. I think that's a good idea from The Miz. Half Boston Crab. Classic manoeuvre. But let's roll up by Kofi, another 2 count. Nice DDT by The Miz. Also gets a 2 count. Finishes are both reversed by both guys. Trouble in Paradise out of nowhere. Kofi wins and retains. And for a short match, it wasn't bad at all. Straight after the match, Matt Striker comes into the ring and interviews Kofi Kingston. He doesn't really say much, apart from he says he's a wildcat. Quite weird. You cut to Kane and Bryan backstage arguing. It was pretty funny, to be honest. For all their segments, they're probably the funniest guys. And then we move on to our US title match, where the man of the hour, the suplex machine, not Brock Lesnar, Antonio Cesaro, US champion without Aksana this time, for some reason. He's facing off against the Darewolf, PJ Black / Justin Gabriel. Gabriel is he's just been put up, hasn't he, as just as something for Cesaro to go through, hasn't he? On his reign, you could see that from a mile off. There's no way Gabriel was winning. Cesaro controls the early going, but then Gabriel fights back. He gets a tornado DDT in, gets a 5 count, a 2 count. He goes up for the 450, but obviously it misses. It doesn't look very nice either. His 450 is just like, he throws himself, he doesn't get much height. Springboard to the outside is met with a massive uppercut. It was very nice. Looked pretty cool. Gets him back in the ring, neutralizer, Cesaro retains. Boring match, but it's needed done to cement his position. Maybe not on a pay-per-view, but still, it had to be done. There's a package on the domination of Ryback against Jobbers. And then we get another Heyman and Vicky segment, and the main event is still on despite Heyman's best efforts. Now we get this match. Mysterio and Sin Cara versus the Primetime Players. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. This is happening. There's always one of these matches, isn't there, on every card in 2012. It's just, why are you here? You shouldn't be here. You just accidentally made it onto the pay-per-view card. Go away. It goes on as long as the tag titles match did. Hooray. Now, instead of the match, I'm just going to do some of the people who are in the match, their signature taunts. Hoorah, hoorah, hoorah. That was Titus O'Neil. And you can't see me, I'm doing the hand signals as well. Millions of dollars, millions of dollars, millions of dollars, millions of dollars. Booyaka, booyaka. 619, yeah. Rey Mysterio. And whatever Sin Cara says. Probably says oops. He botches a lot. Anyway, Ray wins with a 619. Yay. I'm sorry if you really, really wanted me to cover that match in great detail, but there was no fucking way I was going to do that. Now it gets to a promo package for Sheamus versus Big Show. Meh is my reaction to that. At least it isn't Alberto Del Rio versus Sheamus. I guess that's the only upside you can think of. Yeah. Sheamus versus Big Show, World Heavyweight Championship. My first reaction is, wait a minute, this isn't a Hell in a Cell match? What? This is one of the main events, and it's not a Hell in a Cell match? There's only going to be one Hell in a Cell match on the card? Jesus Christ. This is what's wrong with 2012. This is... Your whole show is called Hell in a Cell... Oh, Christ. This is what I have to deal with, ladies and gentlemen. Bullshit like this. Honestly. Big Show controls the early going, as he does in almost every match, because he's a giant. They show Ziggler watching backstage with his briefcase, saying, "Oh, you could cash in." But he's not on the card at all, which makes me sad. It makes this pay-per-view one of the worst because he's not on the card. Nor is fucking David Otunga either. I'm doubly disappointed. Sheamus fights back. Show throws him out of the ring. Sidewalk slam. And he throws him over the announce table. And you can tell that Jim Ross hasn't been doing this for a while now. Because when he throws him over, his reactions aren't very good. He just sits there. And Sheamus's foot narrowly misses Jim Ross's head. He just sits there, just turns around and looks at him. While Michael Cole's just ran off somewhere. Sheamus is back on the apron and he hits the battering ram. But he's stopped by a kick from the Big Show. It's a bear hug from the Big Show. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that was a yawn. Actually, a legit yawn as well. Me reading this out. A bonsai drop actually hits. Wow. This is a very nice bonsai drop from the Big Show. Only gets a 2 count though. Chokeslam is countered with a meager DDT. It was pretty poor. Then almost straight away, chokeslam actually hits. But Sheamus kicks out. White noise, which is very impressive because he actually does lift him up on his shoulders, drops him back down. It's actually a proper white noise. Very impressive from Sheamus. I can say a lot of shit about Sheamus, and I have done, about his quality of matches, but that was impressive. Bro kick is caught, like literally in his hands from the Big Show. KO punch. It's like, oh, this is getting exciting now. 1, 2. Of course, Sheamus kicks out. A second knockout punch misses. Bro kick from out of nowhere. 1, 2. Big Show kicks out. Ooh. But this one was a lot more realistic than Sheamus kicking out the KO punch because the bro kick that we saw was only from a stand. It wasn't a run up one, and it just didn't look like it was a big kick, like one of the bigger ones. He goes for it again, but misses. KO punch in midair. Bang. Big Show wins the world title. Okay then, we got a new world champion. His name is The Big Show. Big sexy Paul White. At least we don't get Sheamus champion anymore, which is a plus, but we do get a Big Show champion. I don't know if that's any better. And to be fair to me, it was an okay match. So yeah, new world champion in the Big Show. I didn't realise this, because if you remember at the beginning of the year, Big Show was fighting for the World Heavyweight Championship against Daniel Bryan, and now it's come towards the end of the year, and they're already cycling through their like feuds again because he's gone back to fighting for the world title and now winning it. Eve is backstage. Teddy Long tells her that he hopes Layla and Caitlyn get revenge on her tonight. Zack Ryder comes out and agrees. He is dressed as a witch, I guess because we're near Halloween or something, and because he calls Eve a witch. And then Teddy Long says, actually you need to change one letter in witch. And everybody's like, oh, Teddy got you done, son. Santino comes out and is Lady Gaga and starts singing Lady Gaga songs. I think Brendan should definitely check this segment out. I think he'd find it really funny. And then Ron Simmons comes out and says the one word which you're all familiar with. Damn! Cut to Vince. And CM Punk enters his office. He says, call it off. Vince doesn't. That's been the theme of the segment so far. Call it off. No. Fine. I'll wrestle instead. But we get the next match, which is Eve versus Layla versus Caitlyn for the Divas title, which you could see coming from last month. To be fair, this is actually sensible booking. Hooray for sensible Divas booking, which hopefully we're now saying in current day form with the introduction of some lovely NXT Divas who are going to rip shit up, I hope. Anyway, because Layla and Caitlyn have both got beef against Eve, they double team Eve to start until Layla rolls up Eve, 2 count obviously. Then Dissension we're in a proper triple threat now. Roll-up combos between Layla and Caitlyn. Quite nice ones as well. They went on for a little while. Eve then targets Caitlyn's ankle, which is still injured from the last month, sort of. Crossbody, the crossbody that Layla does. She jumps up on each rope for 2. The crowd are dead. The comms are dead. JBL actually asks halfway through the match, so who's wrestling? Who are these people in the ring? I don't know who they are. Let's just talk about Notre Dame beating OU because that's JR's team and I'm going to make fun of him. That's literally what JBL does all night long. It's so annoying. And you can tell that JR's annoyed by it as well because he just doesn't reply to it. He just focuses back on the match. The action is also dead. Eve steals the win, as happens in triple threats. Yawn. Literally it. I'm sorry to be mean about the Divas matches, especially when all 3 are pretty talented Divas, to be fair. But that match didn't work at all. Josh Matthews interviews the Big Show. He challenges anyone to beat him because he's a giant. We cut to Sheamus being treated for his injuries. We get a promo package for our main event of the evening. CM Punk versus Ryback. So this is time for my Ryback rant. Yay, buckle in. What the fuck is he doing here? Let me think. I think it may be 3 months ago was the last time we saw him on pay-per-view. He was facing Kurt Hawkins and Tyler Rex in a 2-on-1 handicap match. Destroyed them because they're jobbers. And that's what happens. And that's what had been happening for the past 5 months. He was just beating jobbers. And when they show the package, who is he facing? Jobbers. I don't think he's faced anyone significant to get to a world title shot. How fucking stupid. How have you run out of opponents already for CM Punk? John Cena? Oh yeah, but we can have Punk win. Oh no, we can't have John Cena anymore. He's banished from the show. He's not appearing. He's not even mentioned anymore. Where the hell is John Cena for the fucking matter of it? I have no clue. But no, who do we call up? We call up Ryback. Why? Because he's undefeated. Yeah, but who's he faced? Just jobbers? Well, fine. Can't have him face Jericho, even though they faced earlier in the year. But to be fair, that was a great feud. I mean, who else have you got? You got loads of other people. I mean, come on. Ryback, really? He's barely learned to fucking wrestle. I know he's part of the Nexus, but all he's done is learn how to beat up people like jobbers. And CM Punk isn't a jobber. And you know that from CM Punk's podcast, where he just shat on Ryback a hell of a lot for just being spud, throwing spuds all over the place, being as rough as hell, and you can see it in this match. And yeah, fucking Ryback, dude. And to be fair, now I don't mind Ryback because he's learnt how to do a match properly, but at this point he hadn't. So why didn't they understand that and not put him in the main event of a pay-per-view where they know he's booked not to win. He's not going to win the world title, is he? Let's just get on with it, okay? Rant over. This is the first and last Hell in a Cell match of the night. CM Punk versus Ryback for the WWE title. Wake up! It's beating time! Already Goldberg chants. So that's another problem. He isn't Ryback at the moment. He's a guy who looks like Goldberg. That's all he is at the moment to the fans. CM Punk runs and runs away and hides from Ryback, but Ryback finally gets his hands on him after a minute and just dominates him, throws him about like a rag doll inside and outside the ring. At one point, Punk hides under the ring. Heyman distracts him from outside the cage. When Ryback looks under the ring, Punk sprays him with a fire extinguisher. I found that quite funny. Springboard clothesline, steel chair shot, and a neck breaker on the outside. Punk is back in control, but then Ryback is back up with pretty soon. He chases after Punk. Punk moves out of the way. Ryback goes shoulder first into the steps. Puts him in the ring. High running knee from Punk, and then a clothesline. And the top rope elbow hits, but no pin, because I know why now. But for people who were watching for first time, you think, why didn't they go for the pins? Because the only pin that happened in this match was the last pinfall, was the only one. The one where so-and-so won, if you're not sure who won. Punk gets a kendo stick out. Massive shots. Like, one was on his neck. I'm guessing this is because he probably hurt Punk earlier in the match. This was getting a bit of revenge. He destroys Ryback. But Ryback has to no-sell it, so he just stands up. Spinebuster, meat hook clothesline, finish it. Goes for the shell shock, I don't remember, or no. He has him up on his shoulders, but then the ref, who suspiciously looks like Brad Maddox, stops him from hitting the shell shock. Low blow, roll up, 3 count, Punk wins. This is why they didn't want him to do any pins, because Brad Maddox is not a real referee, and he's shit at being a referee. They try and get out the door, but it's still locked, and they take a while to lock it. Ryback beats people up, and I mean that. He destroys Brad Maddox from gorilla pressing him and throwing him from the ring into the side of the cage. Looked like it absolutely killed. Brad Maddox is dead. Punk runs away and tries to escape by climbing the cage. Bad idea. Everyone knows that's a bad idea. Shell shock to Punk on top of the cell. Would have been better if he'd gone through like WWE 2K15. But yeah, that's how it ends, with Ryback going feed me more on top of the cell, even though I don't know if he realised that he lost. He hasn't won the WWE title. But yeah, that is our pay-per-view. And I think the one word to describe this pay-per-view is weird. Weird that we only had one Hell in a Cell match. Weird that we had Ryback in our main event. Weird that Big Show won the World Heavyweight title. Weird the finish to the WWE title. So, in all, weird. And for match of the night, I wrote down, I literally don't know. Because what was a great match? I don't think there was one, to be fair. Nothing that stood out at all. At all. And that just sums up 2012. Nothing stuck out to me there. Not even the main event. It wasn't a very good Hell in a Cell match at all. So yeah, for the first time, my match of the night is nothing. MVP, Brad Maddox. Yep, Brad Maddox is my MVP of the night. Sorry guys, but that's just how bullshit this pay-per-view was. It may not seem it, but if you have to watch it back and check it over, but it was just so weird. So anyway, that is it for Hell in a Cell 2012. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy it, make sure you like this video either on YouTube or positive rep the post that I make on the Brendan Plays forums. And to be fair, I do hope you do that either or both. Do both. You can do both. It's not hard, because come on, recent times I haven't been getting much rep for the pay-per-view review, and I need rep for the pay-per-view review. This is where I get my rep from. You must understand this. So I need rep. Thank you very much. And if you have any comments, views, or opinions on either Hell in a Cell 2012, the pay-per-view review in general, or me, or the current day, please let me know, either on the video in the comments section below, or posting on the Brendan Plays forums, brendanplays.com/forums. And we've only got 2 more shows to go until 2012 is over. Sad times, eh? Nope, because we'll be moving on to much better things. And I'll discuss those at a later date because I've got a few surprises up my sleeve. Hopefully all you'll enjoy those surprises. I'm sure someone will moan at least once. But hey ho, it's my decision, it's my show. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you check me out on Twitter at the Lunatic Ginge. I hope you check out all the stuff to do with Brendan Plays because he is amazing. And I will see you for Survivor Series 2012, which should be good because we get our first Survivor Series matchup of the year, of the pay-per-view review show. And so I will see you next time.